It is our great pleasure to have this opportunity to interview Professor Kazutake Kyuma, an honorary member of IUSS, as well as an emeritus professor of Kyoto University, Japan. Professor Kyuma, or I'd like to say Kyuma Sensei, thank you very much for joining us today. So let's start your interview. Firstly, would you tell us the main reason why you decided to major in soil science?
Well, thank you, Professor Yanai. Well, I have to wear my glasses. When the World War II was over in 1945, I was 14 years old. I was demobilized from an army cadet school and sent home to resume the ordinary middle school education. Well, losing my target in the life and being deeply shocked by the drastic change in the value system of the society, I determined to be a farmer because it looked more reliable as a means to make a living than other professions. There was another good reason for me to be a farmer. That was a severe hunger due to the food shortage at that time. In addition, during this period of time, I had a chance to read the works of a famous Japanese poet, Kenji Miyazawa, and deeply impressed by his poem and also the way of his life. You know, he was a soil scientist by his college education, and he was eager to help farmers by prescribing the fertilizer recommendation and liming to make their production higher. Thus, I chose the Faculty of Agriculture of Kyoto University when I graduated from a high school, and then proceeded to the Department of Agricultural Chemistry to major in soil science as the foundation of food production.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That was the reason why.
I see. And after you got the PhD from Kyoto University, you became a staff member of the Faculty of Agriculture and Center for Southeast Asian Studies, Kyoto University, and devoted yourself to education and research for more than 30 years. Could you please explain your scientific achievement of your major research subject?
Well, I was appointed what they call assistant of the department. That was permanent post with tenure, but the lowest grade of the Faculty of Agriculture first in 1960. But 2 years later, I got a fellowship from the Rockefeller Foundation to study abroad at North Carolina State College. I got many experience there. When I came back to Kyoto after 2 years, Professor Keizaburo Kawaguchi, my predecessor, was carrying out an international research project on paddy soils in South and Southeast Asia. And I was put into the project member to work for field surveys and soil samplings. I continued working for this project even after I got a new status at the Center for Southeast Asian Studies of Kyoto University. Soil chemical and mineralogical analyses were carried out by the staff members of the soil science lab, and in this way we could cover more than 10 countries of the region by the time of Professor Kawaguchi's retirement from Kyoto University. With a very big data matrix of 3 analytical items per soil times more than 400 soils. Well, I had to face a very difficult problem of extracting reasonable conclusions from this big data matrix. It was fortunate that Kyoto University set up the computer center a little before that period, and the center also got many kinds of programs for treating these big data. Using these facilities, I could establish a method to numerically evaluate soil fertility of each sample soil along the 3 orthogonal axes by using the multivariate statistical methods such as principal component analysis and factor analysis. And fortunately, these 3 orthogonal axes are namely inherent potentiality, then organic matter and nitrogen status, and one more, available phosphorus status. We could come to an evaluation of soil fertility. And while handling all these 400 samples, we could come to figure out the general distribution pattern of soil fertility within the region. Well, based on this work, paddy soils of tropical Asia, their material nature and fertility was published as a commemorative book for Professor Kawauchi's retirement from Kyoto University in 1977. The book was also dedicated to those people who helped us in various ways in the field studies, as a report of our work, as well as a token of our thanks. While working on paddy soils in South and Southeast Asian countries, I was also acquainted with other soils and ecosystems in the tropics. And later I could lay a few international as well as interdisciplinary study projects, such as the one on shifting cultivation in Thailand and another on tropical peat soil ecosystems in Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia.
I see. In relation to international activity, would you please tell us your experience on the 14th International Congress of Soil Science, which was held in Kyoto in 1990?
Well, before 1990, I attended quite a few international congress. First, in 1964, the 8th Congress at Bucharest, Romania, on my way back from the US. And the 9th at Adelaide, Australia, in 1968, and then the 10th in Moscow, held as 50th anniversary of IUSS, International Society of Soil Science. And more. The 13th one at Hamburg in 1986, to prepare for the next one, that is the 14th Congress at Kyoto. I attended that as one of the organizers. At the time of Kyoto Congress, I was the president of the Japanese Society and served also as the chair of the program committee. All of these international congresses were very exciting, giving me good chances to meet eminent scientists from different countries. The Kyoto Congress was also thought to be one of the successful ones, but unfortunately I was kept so busy that I couldn't enjoy it. Even after Kyoto, I attended the Montpellier Congress in 1998, where I witnessed the birth of the International Union of Soil Sciences. Also in 2000, 2002, I was in Bangkok as a visiting professor at Kasesa University and attended the Congress. At this Congress, the World Soil Day was declared by the IUSS, that is set at December 5th. Well, this day, the World Soil Day, was to remember the achievement of recently deceased King Rama IX of Thailand in the fields of soil conservation and soil fertility promotion. The king's birthday was designated as the World Soil Day. I also attended the Brisbane Congress in 2010 as an honorary member of IUSS for the first time. The then President Roger Swift kindly introduced me to the participants of the gala dinner. It was really a grand night for me.
Yes, it was a grand night for us too. And how about the experience on the establishment of ESAFs, East and Southeast Asia Federation of Soil Science Societies?
Well, Japanese society had a plan to establish a regional organization already from early 1980s. The organization is for an information exchange, particularly in relation to rice cultivation and paddy soils, for the countries in East, South, and Southeast Asia. And that task was entrusted to me when I became the president. So, taking advantage of the 14th Congress at Kyoto in 1990, I sent a letter before the Congress to the Soil Science Society of each country in the region, asking for the response to the idea of establishing a regional body. Fortunately, as we had many positive responses, I held a gathering of the representatives of each country during the Congress period. And after discussion among the representatives, it was decided that East and Southeast Asia Federation of Soil Science Societies, the acronym ESAFUS, should be founded in the region. That was the beginning. And Japanese society held the first office, and I was nominated as the first president of ESAFUS. Thanks to the cooperation of the member countries or societies, already 26 years have elapsed since the initiation of the ESAFUS, and it has held 13 scientific conferences, taking a turn among the member societies. I think it is one of the most successful regional organization. I should like to express my most sincere thanks to the late Hari Eswaran, who was originally from Malaysia. He was very helpful, even though he belonged to the US at that time, to shape up the ESAFUS at its initial stage.
I see. Finally, would you please tell us about your recent activities related to soil science?
In 2015, that was the International Year of Soils, a small group of Japanese scientists voluntarily started a work to produce a Japanese translation of a classical book of Vasily Tukchayev, that is Ruski Chernozhov, from its original Russian text. The members are specialized in different disciplines. Of course, soil science is there, forest ecology, and quaternary geology. But they are all strongly interested in that book. By now, a rough translation is over, and it is being edited now by me. I wish, well, this is a wish, to complete the translation in a year from now.
Okay, so we are willing to read that book in a year or so. So, thank you very much, Professor Kyuma.
You're welcome.
Thank
It
you.
was my pleasure too.
Thank you.